Hello all. Today we'll have a discussion on the topic optimal investment in working capital, right? So there are three questions which we are interested in answering. Question number one is what happens to a firm when it decreases its investment in working capital? Question number two is there a limit for reducing working capital? And the last one is what are the approaches to arrive at optimal investment in working capital? Question number one. What happens to a firm when it decreases its investment in working capital? Right? What many of us feel is this: when you are going to decrease the investment in working capital, that is going to release more cash for the firm, which will in turn increase the profitability of the firm, right? Obviously, that is true, right? So, that is a benefit of reducing working capital, right? So, that means every 1 rupee you are going to decrease in terms of working capital, that 1 rupee released from right efficiency in working capital is getting channelized towards future investment, right? So that means it may go for more profitable investment opportunities, which in turn will increase the profitability of the firm in the future, thereby increasing the value of the firm, right? So this is the positive side or the positive aspect of decreasing working capital. What about the negative side of decreasing working capital? Let us first know how we can decrease the working capital, right? You may decrease the working capital by decreasing, right, inventory. So if you decrease inventory, keeping receivable and payable constant, what is going to happen to you is your working capital is going to come down, right? So when it is going to come down because of decreasing your inventory, it is going to result in stock out cost to the firm, right? So this is the negative aspect of, right, decreasing working capital through reduction in inventory. The second way in which you can do the same thing, that is reduction in working capital, is that you may decrease your accounts receivable, right? So if you decrease your accounts receivable, what is going to happen to your customers? Your customers are going to jump to your competitors, right? So that means if you are going to decrease your working capital by reducing your receivable, what is going to happen to you is that it is going to increase the rate of customer attrition to the firm, right? And the last way in which you can reduce your working capital is increasing accounts payable, right? That means when you increase your accounts payable, what is going to happen to your suppliers, right? The suppliers are going to consider you to be more riskier, because every 1 rupee you are going to borrow extra, it is going to increase your bankruptcy risk, right? So that is what your liquidity risk, right? So that means if you decrease your working capital by way of increasing your accounts payable, what is going to happen to you is that your liquidity risk is going to increase, right? So this is going to be very much higher for companies which are smaller in size, for companies operating in economic environment where there is slowdown, right, or recession, right? For example, present COVID-19 environment, right? And the last one is companies with fluctuations in fundamentals, right? So they are going to have the problem if you are going to reduce your working capital by way of increasing your accounts payable, right? So I take you to the second question. So the question, right, which comes to our mind based on our discussion in the previous section is this, right? Is there a limit for reducing working capital for a firm? The answer is a big yes, right? There is an optimal point in terms of investment in working capital, right? So that means there are only two aspects here, right? One is going to be your profitability. That means if you are going to decrease your working capital, it is going to increase your profitability, right? Which many managers try to do. And the other aspect is this liquidity. If you decrease your working capital, your liquidity is also going to decrease, which your bankers may not like, right? So that means these two are, right, opposite to each other. That means we need to have a middle point, right? So that is what your optimality. So that means in finance we call this as profitability versus liquidity trade-off in working capital management. I take you to the third question. This is the most important question. Are there any approaches to arrive at optimal investment in working capital is the question. Answer is yes, there are two approaches. Approach number one is called firm value based approach. Approach number two is called comparable firm approach. Let's go to the first approach. The first approach is firm value based approach, right? So wherein firm value is equal to cash flow in future divided by the difference between cost of capital and growth rate. Let's go through an illustration which is hypothetical. Right, the name of the company is VNK Limited and its current revenue is 500 crores in INR. The EBIAT or after tax operating profit or NOPAT, net operating profit after tax, earnings before interest and after tax, is 10% at present. It is assumed to continue at the same level in the future. At zero investment in working capital, the growth rate in operating profit is 5%. And also assume that this is the present scenario. The current cost of capital for the firm is 15% and the cost of capital is expected to come down by 0.10%. Please mind, it's not 0.10, rather it is 0.10% for every 10% increase in working capital as a percentage of revenue. Also assume that delta capex and depreciation are ignored in this computation, right? Yeah. So what am I going to do? Let's find out the value of the firm at 0% working capital investment. That is the current scenario, right? I repeat, 0% here refers to, right, investment in working capital as a percentage of revenue. That is 0, right? So value of the firm, this is the formula which we have run through in the previous section. So future cash flow divided by the difference between cost of capital and growth rate. Let's first find out the numerator, that is future cash flow. So which is nothing but current year EBIAT into 1 plus G minus reinvestment. Reinvestment is 0 because presently the reinvestment in working capital is 0. Delta capex is assumed to be 0. So that means reinvestment comes to us at 0. The EBIAT is current revenue into profit margin, operating profit margin, after tax operating profit margin it is. So that is 10%, so that is 0.10 into growth rate, that is 5%. So that means into 1.05, right? So that gives us 52.5 minus 0, so that is 52.5. So the value of the firm is numerator 52.5, that is the future cash flow, divided by 0.15, that is your cost of capital, right, 15%, minus growth rate, that is 0.05, gives us the value of the firm of VNK at INR 525 crores. When is it? When the investment in working capital is 0, right? Now let's change the numbers, right? Let's do a number game now, right? So now what we are going to do is we are going to increase the percentage of investment in working capital from 0 to 10, okay? So it is as a percentage of revenue, as I told you already. So the future cash flow is going to be 500, that is current year revenue, into operating profit margin after tax, that is 0.10, into growth rate. Earlier the growth rate was 5%. Now the growth rate is 6%. So that means into 1.06. Earlier the reinvestment rate is 0. Now the reinvestment is happening. How it is happening? Because now the working capital as a percentage of revenue is 10%, right? So that means current year revenue into 0.10 into growth rate expected in the next year, 0.06. Okay, so that's going to give you 53 minus 3, that is 50. So if you are going to put this in the formula, 50 is the numerator, the denominator is 0.149. Earlier it was 0.15, now it is 0.149, minus growth rate 0.06 gives the value of 561.80 crores, right? Guys, please check that. Panindra, please check that. Ankit, please check that, right? So Kirti, please check that, right? So Kushagra, what are you saying, man? Right? So you are telling me to ask Vatsalya, right? So Vatsalya, could you try what is the value of the firm at 20% of working capital? Okay, yeah. Padmanabh, you can assume G is 6.5%. Yeah. So let's try. Sitij, yeah, use this information, find out what is the right value of the firm, right? Future cash flow is going to be 500 current year revenue into after tax operating profit margin 10%, 0.10 into growth rate 6.5. So that is 1.065 minus reinvestment current year revenue into right investment in working capital. Here it is 0.20. In the previous case it was 0.10. When the working capital percentage is 0, it is 0, right? Yeah. So into 0.065, that is a growth rate, right? So that means that gives us a numerator of 46.75 divided by, right, cost of capital 0.148. Earlier it was 0.149. Previous case it was 0.149. For every 10% increase, we have assumed the cost of capital is coming down, right? Because the suppliers are getting more confidence because they are having more collateral to rely upon, right? So it means 0.148 minus 0.065 is going to give us, right, 46.75 divided by 0.083, that is giving us the value for V and K at 563.25, right? I repeat, when the working capital was 0, the value was 525 crores. When the working capital is 10%, the value is 561.80. When the working capital is 20%, the value is 563.25. So this is the highest value we have got so far, right? So let's go for one more iteration. Yeah. Let's assume now, yeah, Ritika, let's assume now the value of the firm, right, is going to change when we are going to change the working capital percentage to 30%, right? Yeah. So Jayant, if I do that, I assume that the growth rate now is going to be 6.83 at 30%, right, working capital. Plug in the numbers, right? What you are getting is the value of, right, 548.54 INR crores, right? So what does it mean, Abhishek, right? This means that the optimal working capital for the firm is 20% of revenue, right? So because at that investment level, the value of the firm is maximized, right? Yeah. I take you to the second approach, right? So this is comparable firm approach. So what we are going to do is these steps, right? Step number 1 is we are going to list down comparable firms in the same business. Harish, yes, what you are asking is right. You should take companies operating in the same business, right? Yeah. Sagar, the second step is compute working capital by revenue percentage for comparable firms. The third step is compute LN revenue for comparable firms. It is LN revenue, it's not log revenue. And the last one, of course, is run the regression, wherein the dependent variable is working capital by revenue percentage and the independent variable is LN revenue. I insist, it is LN revenue, it's not log revenue, right? Yeah. So if you do that, the output of the regression may look like this. I have just given you some hypothetical numbers, right? Nevertheless, it will help us in explaining this, right? So that means working capital by revenue percentage. This is the predicted number we want to know, right? Is going to be this 0.15486 minus 0.003381, 8 LN revenue. Let us assume for right Panindra Limited, the working capital by revenue percentage is 10. For Panindra Limited, P Limited, right, working capital by revenue percentage is 10%, right? Let us assume the present revenue is 6,000 crores. Just plug in the numbers in the output of the regression. If you do that, what you are getting is 12.55%, right? So this is the predicted level of investment in working capital. Let us assume the present level of investment is 10%. So what do you suggest, right? So what do you suggest, Raghav, right? What is your suggestion? Yeah, Raghav, please tell. Yeah, Raghav is right, right? Raghav says, right, the current investment is 10%, whereas it can go up to 12.55. So that means the firm has under invested in working capital. That means it's below its optimal investment in working capital. So it can go up to 12.55, right? Yeah, that's it, guys. So that means what we have done in this lecture is this. There are 3 questions we have answered. Question number 1 is what happens to a firm when it decreases its investment in working capital? Question number 2 is there a limit for reducing working capital? The last one is approaches to arrive at optimal investment in working capital. See you in the next video. Please take care.